We have a voicemail number. That number is 219-2-DAVID-P. Call anytime, 219-2-DAVID-P. Speaking of George Santos, here is a caller asking a very interesting question about the Santos fiasco.
Hey, David, if George Santos was a Democrat, how do you think the situation would be handled differently? Do you think that Jeffries and the Democrats would be a lot more proactive in the same situation, hypothetically, where you have a couple seat advantage? The Democrats have a couple seat advantage, and it would hurt their majority and their amount of power.
I do. Now, this is one of those things where when I feel that Republicans and Democrats are basically the same, I will tell you. And when I think they're different, I will tell you. One of the things that Democrats do to a fault is they are in their effort to show how they will not simply stand by any Democrat no matter what. Sometimes Democrats are too quick to condemn their own. A great example is the Al Franken situation. Al Franken involved in a tasteless joke that was photographed. But what Al Franken did in retrospect probably was not worthy of a resignation. And Al Franken resigned because there was pressure on him to resign. Anthony Weiner, Democrats abandoned him. If George Santos were a Democrat, I believe there is no doubt if he had told these lies and about these issues that the pressure on him to resign would have been total from the Democratic Party, and that he would have ultimately ended up resigning, maybe to the detriment of Democrats. That is the way I have seen Democrats operate over the last decade in American politics. So if you disagree with me, let me know, but I think it would have been handled completely differently. And Santos would be gone if he were a Democrat and the same things were uncovered. We have such a great bonus show for you today.
Oh, the bonus show where you want to make money. Everybody else that makes money to fund themselves is bad.
Yeah. On the bonus show today, it has been determined by a judge that Ron DeSantis violated the First Amendment by removing an elected official. Who was that official? I will tell you, but we've talked about it before. We will talk about the George Santos drag photos story, because it is a story about hypocrisy. It's a story about supposed values that they don't really care about on the right. It's a very interesting story. And by the way, I couldn't care less who's a drag queen. Doesn't make a difference to me. It's the hypocrisy that is interesting to me. And we have a challenger for Kyrsten Sinema. Former David Pakman Show guest Ruben Gallego is running against Kyrsten Sinema for Senate in Arizona. We will talk about what is on the table, what this means for Sinema and for Gallego, and much, much more. Sign up at joinpakman.com, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, do the thing, and we will see you on the bonus show or back here tomorrow.